Tom also talked a little bit about becoming a celebrity and understanding what your celebrity status is. When I thought about that, I began to become a little bit worried because of where some of my celebrity status may come from. I travel a lot and I speak to attorneys a lot, so when I'm in a room full of folks, I see some familiar faces. Oftentimes seeing a familiar face is a really cool thing when you're traveling, but there are occasions when seeing a familiar face when you're traveling is not a good thing. And a few years ago, I was doing an event in New York City. The event was on a Friday and a Saturday, and I decided to stay over, and Sunday morning flew out. And I went to Kennedy Airport, and I don't know if you have been to Kennedy or the domestic Delta terminal at Kennedy. It was not what I remembered it to be. It was a tomb. It was pretty empty. In fact, there was only one place available to eat lunch that day, and it was fairly crowded. It was a bar, and there was only one seat available, and there was a lady sitting next to that seat who had some paper strewn right there, and I thought, okay, it's the only seat available. I'm going to have to inconvenience her. I'll sit next to her. And so I walked up and asked her if I could sit there, and she didn't acknowledge me or anything like that, just grabbed the papers and sort of let me sit there, but still kept her back positioned to me. And I ordered my meal, and the end of the bar was a big round wheel kind of thing. It was so large that when they actually served you something, the bartender had to kind of put a stick and push your plate toward you. And so I ordered a cheesesteak, and when it finally came, he served it, and I stood up on my bar stool, and I tried to help the gentleman, and I leaned forward, and when I was pulling the plate toward me, my elbow hit this lady's strawberry daiquiri, knocked it over, and poured it onto her white pants. And I was very apologetic. I was embarrassed, didn't know quite what to do, and all she did was kind of grab her stuff and go and sit somewhere else. And then I sat there very slowly eating my meal because I was very self-conscious about the whole thing, as many of you would be. And then it hit me, and that is I've got to board my flight. And so I made my way to my gate and found out that most of the flight had boarded, and I was getting on the airplane. And when I was getting on the airplane, I looked down and realized my assigned seat was next to the lady that I just spilled a drink on. And I said sorry, and she just kind of rolled her eyes back and had to live with it. So I'm sitting there feeling really awful. They start the cabin service, and I said, listen, let me make this up to you. Is there something I could do? Could I buy you a drink? And sure enough, when the flight attendant walked by, she said I would like a glass of red wine. And so I pulled out my wallet. You know where this is going. I pulled out my wallet, and I paid for the red wine, and I don't know why the flight attendant handed me the red wine, but she did. And I kind of had my wallet in one hand and the glass of wine in my other hand, and I turned, and I hit the seat in front of me, and I poured that red wine all over her white blouse. You should have seen this lady. I mean, she was a bloody mess. It was terrible. Now, I kid you not, a few months after that, I was in Indianapolis, and I was flying on Southwest Airlines, and I had a C ticket. I'm the one that forgets that you got to log in early and get an A or B seat. And when you get a C seat on the center, C stands for center seat when you get a C ticket on Southwest. And as I'm making my way down the aisle, I just see this woman gesturing, and she's going, no way, no way. And this lady was on my same flight. And she wasn't really funny, but I got to tell you, really very friendly. But this is the true story. That happened about 4 or 5 years ago. Last week I was in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm waiting at the airport, and guess who's there waiting to go on the same flight to Orlando, Florida? This lady. And she asked me, she walked up to me and she said, please tell me what seat you're sitting in. I will request a ticket change. So anyway, so you can be a celebrity for being a lawyer in your niche, or you could be a celebrity for being a klutz who pours drinks on innocent bystanders. Your choice.